All right. How is everybody? All right, welcome back to the channel. And yeah, I've been having some issues with my camera, but never you mind. We are here on a mission, all right? On a mission to spread the good word about Unreal. So here we are, or maybe my German version of me, something like that. All right, it doesn't matter. There is no camera. In fact, it's not a camera issue. It is base camera base issue. Like the thing broke yesterday, and now my camera it's laying right there on my desktop, but there is no way to point it at me. So I guess it's time to talk about Metahumans, all right? And as you see, I have a little bit of a stiff neck, right? It's not, a great situation here. My guess is that we should fix this one. So first of all, let me say hello to everybody, all right? There is Arsen. Hello, Franco. How are you? How are you, my friend, my brother from another mother? All right, cool. So here we are. All right, the music is too loud. Let me just take care of that. So let me go here and put these a little bit like this, maybe. In fact, we can, get rid of it. You know what? Yeah, it's probably for the best. All right, so cool. So we are here today to talk about metahumans. And I'm guessing that also I don't have like the best of the best synchronization with audio because again, I'm using like a 4K video that then is transcoded into a 1080p, and the thing takes like nearly a second, so I need to delay everything. So maybe I should fix that. Let me just show you how I will fix that. And let me go here, and it's a really easy thing. I just need to go here and there and everywhere, and that's it. No more delay. And now the thing is going to be completely awful, but it doesn't matter because now we are going to simply disconnect this thing from there, and that's it. All right, cool. So I hope everybody is listening to me well. Hello, Diana. How are you? All right, we are on your favorite topic. Yes, we are going to talk about Meet a Human. All right. So I'm going to turn off my iPad for the time being, and I'm going to concentrate on showing you, the best, the newest, the bold guy who is Christopher. And hello, more people coming. Hello. All right, cool. So let's talk about these guys right here. So let's talk about, the good, the bad, and the ugly about metahumans today. So metahumans are fairly new, even though it's, it's very incredible that they have been around for almost 2 years. They are fairly new, and that means that the 1.0 version was out like last year. So we are really at the dawn of this technology. And nice thing about them is also that there are, even with 2 years in, there are wonderful pieces of character. Like this detail, it's awesome. And the other nice thing about them is that they have been evolving. So if we go to the Quixel Bridge and we take a look at all those preset metahumans, you are going to find out that, there are many more. Every time I look at this thing, there is one more. And it's hard to notice, which one is it really? I know that I have never seen this guy before in my life. Neither, I guess this one I have. We have the original one. We have Taro, and but then we have all these, and we have Ada also, and there are evolving. We have many, many more each time. Also, we have Lo, and this is the character that comes with the Matrix Awakening. What was that? That was like a interactive application, something. All right, so we also have her, available for us to download and play with and animate and create our, stories with her, which is wonderful. So that are, the best things, new best things about the metahumans. We can talk a little bit more, about their skeletons. There are getting much better in terms of the formation, and that is with the addition of many more bones. All right, and now you're going to see that there are a couple of corrective bones all over the place, and if we just check them out like pretty fast, if I go character and bones and all hierarchy, you can see that now we have a couple of, maybe more than a couple. We have some other, bones. For example, in the shoulder, we have 3 more bones that control a little bit of the deformation and will hold, the actual shape of the metahuman a lot more. Like here with the compression of the biceps, and the same with the elbow, and we have the rotation of the lower arm, and many more. The same with the pelvis. Each leg has its own new set of bones that should help into the deformation of the actual character. Of course, another great thing about metahumans is that the control rigs for metahumans are getting better and better. Not only that, but we also have new and very exciting things. Let me just show what do I mean. So here I am in the Metahuman folder, and I'm going to right click. That's me with a mustache? Not at all. Not at all. That's my German me. I'm Christopher, All right, so let's create a level sequence here. Let's open it up. Let's grab this metahuman and drop him inside here. Nowadays, when you drop your metahuman, many things are going to happen at the same time. All right. For example, we are going to have we're going to be switched to the new animation mode right out of the gate up here. And as you see, we have a couple of new tools up here and a bunch of different animation settings. Also, we have spaces, which are amazing. We can talk about spaces in a couple of minutes. And we have constraints. They are not the best at the time, but if you want to start playing with them, because they are going to be big, all right? They are going to get better and better. So if you want to start, playing with them and making them work, it's going to be very, very good. There are a couple of things about them, like you cannot change the actual offset once you have the actual constraint working. So there are a couple of things that could be added to that workflow, but now it's there, and it's magnificent, in that case. All right, so let's check out another thing that is happening right now. We're going to have at our disposal this new animation outliner, which again is not the brightest of them all, just because it's very hard sometimes when you want to select like everything at once. For some reason, it keeps there is no way of right clicking and select all, or select something from this chain down and stuff like that. So again, a couple more things that could be a lot better in this regard. And we have the anim details. These are great. You're going to have things like the transform right there for you to set your keys, or to key the whole transform right there, and it is great. So in case, for example, if you select your global control, you're going to have not only the transform information for the global control, but also you're going to have, all the different switches, right? Like the FKIK switches right there for you to, play with without having to go inside, right, and play with them from inside here, which is, a lot better. And all right, from now on, now that we know that these dudes are here, we're going to simply, get them out of the way so we have more space to play with our metahuman. So the next thing is that now if you happen to have more than one, I'm going to use best just because I have already set him on this scene, so it's not going to take a bunch of time, loading in. This is our surfer boy, and I got him mainly because, he has the same attire, with the hoodie and the same hair as Taro. And I know that hair, he has, full cards for the hair. And I wish to showcase a little bit of that, with Groom and hair cards for metahumans, right? And it also has, that hateful, hoodie with the strings, with the killer strings pointing forward that are sometimes unmanageable, while we are animating with them. They are a little bit better, but I can tell you how to fix them, at some point. So we're also going to drop this new B character in because I want to show you one great thing, about control rig and, and everything. So let me show you what that is. So if I, select now this character right here, and I select this character right here, you can see that I can move them both at the same time. So this wasn't available before. You did not have the ability of moving two characters or two controls at the same time. So now that we have that, it's like an amazing thing, because now you can animate things like holding hands or, interactivity between two control rigs in the same scene. So now it's not, how it was before. Like if you select one control rig, the other one would disappear. Now you have them both right there, waiting for you to start modifying them. So for now, I'm just going to delete the face control rig because that is going to be out of scope, right, for today. And the face we can keep, right? We just going to delete the face control rig, right? So another nice thing about these metahumans is the not just metahumans. I'm really expanding here to animation, and that is the poses. The pose window might be the pose editor right here, control rig pose. You activate it from right here. And once you are there, it's going to provide you with a folder that is going to be created. This will work for any control rig, not just metahumans. And the pose is going to be created right there where the character is, all right? So if you go here, you're going to be able to, create your own poses. So let's do like a silly, up arm pose, like really fast. Like this, and maybe a little bit of that, and this, and a little, this is very important because this is a little bit annoying, right? Every time you move something in control rig, you gotta be sure that you are going to key it, right? Because as soon as you move the timeline, the thing nastily go back, to the T-pose, which is not amazing, and you cannot undo. So if you really work hard, to that, arm up and rotate it so you don't get, so much of a deformation there, or it's not a very nice deformation. So let's go this way. All right, that's it. And as soon as you're done, set an S to key, right? And now there should be a key there. Now we can move around and the thing won't go back to the original place. Now we can do the same with this one, and let's turn it this way, right? And S. So this is a very silly and easy pose, right? And I can now select these two controls, and this is of highly important, right? You gotta make sure that you select whatever you want to create as a post, because the post is going to be related to that actual selection. So be sure to select whatever you move. If you are not sure, you're going to have, to select the whole thing and, create the post that way, right? So that's it. So now all I want to do is to go here, and with some control bricks control selected, I can create a new post, right? And another thing is that you can look at your character, right? Because you really want to be in that picture, with the pose. And that's it. You can, this is maybe important to like a suffix for the thing, because, it will only be for Metahumans control bricks. This one, I don't know how compatible is this control brick with any other, mannequin control brick. Proportions may not be the same, so be aware. And now let's create that asset, and now we can simply, you're going to check it out right here. So now we have here Metahuman up arm, pose, right? And we have the thumbnail there. And if you want to retake that thumbnail, you can simply click there. Let me lower these a little bit and up these a little bit more, and you can recapture that thumbnail, right, until you are satisfied. Cool. Now, how do I all right, how do I make that pose work again? So first of all, let's open up Christopher, open the body. And another thing is that these poses will only work with control brick. You're not going to be able to save any other poses that are not control brick controlled surfaces. All right. So, a standard animation, you're not going to be able to save a pose out of that. You need to have some control selected for it to work. And now we can simply, maybe if I close here, I should have some keys here. So I'm going to delete them. And now my Metahuman is at his default pose. And for some reason, Unreal is like dying. So I'm going to lower my screen percentage by 50%. And just, to boot, I'm going to set everything to hide and just the textures to epic. And that's it. So now I should have more FPS for free. All right, cool. So let's make this pose work here again. So all I need to do is to, select nothing. You can have nothing selected on your viewport. And now if you want, again, you want to make sure that you save your pose. And to save your pose is right clicking on the pose and save the asset. This asset is going to be somewhere in your disk. All right, let's give it a second. Or maybe not. Maybe it completely crashed. That can be a thing for sure. Hello, Hossein. Hello, Andy. Hello, everyone. All right. Is there a fix to this shoulders deformation? There should be a way, as in anything in this world, and I just will have to heal. So I'm working in 5.2, so that might be why we are going to get a couple of crashes this time around. Oh, I cannot see Unreal anywhere. Huh. That is no bueno, right? It is not here. So maybe this is like a ghost of an Unreal thing. Huh. Nope. All right. It seems like it's not here for some reason. It doesn't matter. It's all right. So all we need to do is to maybe open another Unreal, and maybe this one will go away soon. That's it. Right, there are a couple of other things open at the same time. This might not go well, guys. This is burning. Skip restored. Let's see how this goes. Right, why? I have how is my processes? All right. Let's keep trying this and see how it goes. Right? Are you good? You good? Everything is good. Let's drop these 50% and be sure that our scalability is high with cinematics. All right, everything is back. Cool. So you go, and now let's bring in our friend Christopher again. And let's keep playing with him a little bit more. All right. Oh. All right. Come here. Face that way. Come there. Down there. And that's it. All right. Cool. So let's keep talking about, what was I talking about? All right, the poses. All right. So yeah, poses have this thing that I wanted to talk about, because we talk about the good. Now we're going to talk about the bad. And there are some things that are still not ready. For example, that thing that you just mentioned, the deformation of the body. Let's be real. The only pretty amazing thing about metahumans are the faces. The faces are awesome. Those faces are sometimes uncanny on how beautiful they are. And that means, and let me check out if this dude, oh yeah, he's using the hair. So it's all right. Let's have him right there for now. And now we're going to create level sequencer, open it up. Let's drop both of our metahumans in. This is just a fast test that we're going to do. So, right, everything open at the same time. And now we can take, this face control. We can delete it. It doesn't matter. The whole face track with the thing. And let me go to the poses. And now, that pose died when I tried to save. So maybe, all right, let's do this in a much better way. So let's delete the metahuman control rig and let's bring on that face again for the both of them, just because I want to create the, no, it's not picture control rig. Sorry that I'm reworking this thing. Face control board. All right, let me do this again pretty fast. It's going to be a lot easier. I just want to show you something that I found out very important about this new control rig, and I want you to know. So here it is. So there are poses for the actual face of your metahuman. All right, let me just get there. So you go to content, and you're going to, sadly, there is no way, of having some breadcrumbs or something. So this is what we got. So I need to go forward, following the path of the metahuman. So let me go to the metahuman. Let's go to common, and let's go to face, I believe. Nope. It should be, and I cannot go back. Yep. All right, let me see if I can find it. Can I find poses? Pose? All right, here they are. Sorry for that, but yeah, someplace, there are in Metahuman common pose library. All right, good. Let's go find them. So they are in Metahuman. So Metahuman common pose library. Face, and we have expressions. So we do have all these expressions, right? And here is where I was talking about having selected what you want to be in each and every one of these poses. I'm not going to dare creating a new pose and saving it just because we just created a crash by doing that. But if we now, select controls, you're going to see that a bunch of these controls are going to be selected. And those are all the controls that, are in this particular pose. And once that is there, I can go here and, apply that pose, or select controls and paste pose. All right, here it is. But here is the thing. As soon as I said select controls, if I go this way, you're going to see that this dude also have all the controls selected. And this means that if you have more than one metahuman in the scene, you're not going to be able to distinguish, the selected controls. Because if you go and open up, this pose, it's going to only have the name of the controls, and it will select every control in your scene that happens to have that same name, no matter how many numbers of metahumans you have with a face control rig, or by that matter, with a control rig. So this is a thing that needs to be fixed. I really, really hope that they don't fix it like Maya did with those hideous namespaces. All right. I really wish they can find some way, of really happen to know and distinguish. Maybe it should be like, right, if I have these metahuman control selected and I said select control, you should only select the control of this metahuman. That should be an easy thing, right? But right now it is selecting all the controls from all the metahumans that happens to have a control rig on. So this is not the greatest thing, right? So even though we have all these great, poses and everything, be sure, if you want to work with them, let me show you the workaround, because, I'm Mr. Workaround. So let me show you what I would do. So what I would do is to, if I'm working with Christopher, I should be able to grab the face control rig of this character, and I should mute it. And that's it. The thing is that, all right, now when I, select any other, pose, and I can select the controls, it will only select the controls from this one. And, that is exactly what we were after, right? Now I can paste this one, and you can see that this pose was only pasted on this one, but not on this one. And that is well for faces. But what if, you were animating these two guys, the body of these two guys, and they were interacting with each other, and you want to save or, assign poses to them? Well, as soon as you mute it, he's going to be, reverted to T pose. So the pose will not maintain. So it's not ideal. But again, what is, right? All right, let me check out the messages. Yeah, exactly, Franco. You can mute the other one, but, at that cost of, losing every animation that you have already there, as long as you have it mute. All right. So yeah, it might not be ideal. So I'm guessing animation wise, that's all new, and everything good and bad, right? That we already have. So now let's talk about other bad things. Why not? So let's close this sequencer for now. And let's now talk about the elephant, the bald elephant in the room. And that is Christopher losing his hair. All right. Let's check it. Let's check that out. Well, this is fairly known, right? There are a couple of metahumans whose hair pieces, grooms, do not have the card components, all right, the card LODs, okay? And there are not only LODs, but there are a full, replacement for the groom for metahumans. So what would happen is that they will have only 2 levels of detail for the strain groom, right? And from there on, they are going to be completely bald, because the card is assigned to be loaded, but there is no card. So this is what happens, right? So this is the bad. Now I'm going to show you the ugly. And the ugly is that if you go to the Quixel bridge, and this was a change that I don't know how did it happen, but it happened. If you go to Metahumans and you select Christopher, for example, right? Let's find Christopher, our dear friend Christopher. Well, nowadays you don't have any warning whatsoever that this character doesn't have full LODs for the hair, sadly, right? That used to be a thing. I don't know if we are like in the brink of having them all working or something like that, but yeah, for the time being, there is no warning, of this character not having the full set of LODs. So it's going to happen, for example, for this character, for this character, for this character, just because I know that this particular hair does not have full LODs, right? There are a couple that I know that do have or that they don't need, all right? But yeah, that is a thing. So if you go to the Metahuman creator, in the Metahuman creator, you're still going to find those warnings saying that this character doesn't have, not the character in the Metahuman creator, you're going to find out the actual pieces of hair that doesn't have those LODs. So yeah, that was, the ugly part of this. But now let's, fix it, because again, I will show you the ugly, I will show you the bad, and then I will show you the workaround. There are many ways of working around this. The easiest one, being go to the details, go to the, component list, select your LOD sync, and, just fix it to a number. All right. It could be 0 or 1. If you go to 2, so you might get a ball guy, right? Because it only has 2 levels, so 0 and 1. So if you don't want Mr. Clean here, you're going to have to set it to either 0 or 1. 0 being, like overkill for most applications of Metahumans. Like 0 is to, to go like this, right? Here, Christopher, hello. Let me just fix this. Right, there it is. Enter. Like, it's to go like this. For the rest of LOD 1 is more than good enough for everything. All right. There are other ways, more complex ways. Like, for example, going to the actual blueprint and then assign, for the 8 levels of LODs, just 0 and 1 again might not be the best of the best, because it's a lot easier to set it at 1 and just let it be. But again, you're going to only have like 1 level of detail that won't pop and won't do, nasty things. So it might be, good in those terms. But the other thing that you can do is to actually, go to and I'm going to be risking for the biscuit here, because last time I tried to do this in 5.2, I got a complete disaster of a crash. So if you go to the hair asset, right, the Groom asset, and you turn it on, you're going to check out that you have an LOD tab, and this LOD tab is where the actual error is. And the error is that you have LOD 0 is geometry type strands. That's good. Then you have LOD 1 geometry type strands. That's good. And then you have LOD 2 and you have cards. And because this character doesn't have cards, it's like, essentially not having hair, right? So what you can do is go here, change this to strand and make it visible. And now you should have a new LOD ready. Like Unreal just calculated LOD 2 for this hair, and now you can check it out here. And as you can see, it's going to be a little bit more coarse than what we had before, and you can continue doing this. There's going to be a time, maybe at LOD 3 or 4, that the thing is going to be already nonsense. Let me show you why. I can go strands and I can go visible. Now we're going to have LOD 3. Let's check it out. And now it's a little bit, like, I don't know. It's like, copper coil or something like that. And then if we go one more, right? Strands, visible, And that's it. I believe this is the last one that we can do because it not only lower the quality and the quantity, but also the number of subdivisions. And now we're getting like something that it's not going to work. So what you can do from there on is to simply delete any other LOD. You have already 4 LODs, and that might be good enough. So let's delete 5 and crash. I knew it. All right, so we still have this new desktop background, which is weird at any rate. But yeah, let's open Unreal Engine again. All right, so other ways that we can. All right, checking my notifications. Everything is good. So let's wait until Unreal turn up again. Here we are. Cool. Close it down. So let's talk about this guy right here. So this is one of those metahumans. So I just showed you how you can, in a perfect world, how you can, remove the LODs that you don't want. You can create more LODs to those hair. And that way, that your character is going to remain having enough LODs, at least 4 LODs with hair. And, it's going to continue working with the rest of the LODs of the metahuman, so you can leave it as -1 in the LOD sync, and that is going to be, perfect, right? In that regard. But now let's talk about this guy right here. So this guy is at -1 force LOD, so that means that Unreal is choosing which LOD is going to use for this guy. And the other thing that that I always do, if this is not going to be main character metahuman, I don't know if you did notice, but this is not your out of the meal hair. These are cards, all right? And these are cards for all LODs from 0 to whatever, right? So how do I have LODs for this character at LOD 0 for cards? Well, if you select your character and you go details and you go and select his actual hair, and you can go here and you can use cards. If you turn it off, this is Groom hair, right? Let me type this. So this is Groom hair, right? And if you go details and you turn on cards, you can have LOD 0 for for hair. And this is like the way to go if you are working. It doesn't matter if it's going to be your primary character, your hero character. Turn cards on, all right, as soon as you can. If you're working for render, be sure to go back and turn it off, so you have the full quality if you want. But if you're working, like don't waste FPS on hair, on Groom hair. You really don't need it. You can work like this, and it's going to be a lot easier, all right, to render this out. So let's talk about the ugly. And I was talking with Diana yesterday, and this is this thing right here. So if I go hair and I go cards, so I turn off cards, and now you can check out this nasty shadow that we get from hair, from Groom hair. And this is simply, and not only that, but if you go back a little bit, you can see down there that the hair is going to disappear at some point. I don't know why, or maybe it should be a little bit closer to some surface. And if you go pretty near, that same thing happened here. The actual shadow is disappearing. So I'm going to do a couple of things. First of all is I'm going to turn this guy to LOD to LOD1, right? Force it, so we don't have the fuzz on the face and everything should look a little bit better. But this is still Groom, and you can see still that nasty thing there. And this is sadly virtual shadow maps not knowing how to produce shadow for this, so it's reverting to cascade shadow. And at some point that cascade shadow will start failing, as it's failing for this character right there. And that is because everything that is not nanite. For virtual shadow maps, it's going to revert to cascade shadow. Or no, it's not cascade shadow. Sorry, it's going to revert to mesh distance shadow, distant field shadow. Sorry. And then again, those are going to work just for a time, and then they're going to completely disappear. What you can do is to extend, that by going to, maybe I should go to the documentation and look for this, but I'm guessing, let me see if I go here. Do I have it there? No, it's not here. So I'm guessing is distant field shadow. I'm not going to remember the actual command. Not in 1,000 years. So the good thing is that now this console command is like a query. So I can start querying. I'm going to find distance and field and distant shadow. Cool distance. No, it is max. Oh, no. All right. Let me go really fast and search it. So let's go here and let's go virtual shadow map documentation. All right, so for everything that is not nanite, virtual shadow map will be this one right here. So it is possible to make non-nanite geometry behave the same way as nanite by using the console variable use for shadow cooling 0. But again, that might not be what we want. We want the other command that will extend that shadow. Nope. 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 Is someone already typing it? Nope. I remember that I saw you somewhere. Here it is. So non-nanite objects still respect their regular shadow CPU cooling settings such as R shadow radius threshold. So let's copy this. Let's go back here. And now you're going to see that as soon as I drop this and I hit enter and I can check out, the actual value is 004. So what if I make it a little bit higher? So 0.1. Enter. Nope. Wait. Numlock 0.1. Enter. All right. No, it should be even lower. So 0.01. Enter. There it is. Now we have a complete shadow for, things are never going to be nanite for the time being, like deformable objects and even, those basic, shapes. So if I drop a cube, and again, this is not nanite, this is not metahuman, but because, metahumans are, a non-nanite, a nonite, right, thing. You see there that the shadow of the cube disappear. Well, if you were to create, and these are nanite shapes, all these rocks, so you can go as far as you want and they will always have a shadow, right? Because of the wonderful virtual shadow maps. But for metahumans and nonites, like this one, you are going to be missing those. So if you want, you're going to have to lower these as low as you can, right? 0.05. And you are going to have, almost the same. At some point, they are going to disappear, but maybe they are so far away that you won't miss them anymore. So that fixed the far thing. But the near thing, it's something that simply there is nothing there to fix it for now. So, virtual shadow maps are just the same as shadow maps in the terms of them being, maps. There are texture maps that are being projected. So there should, virtual shadow map being more efficient and bigger in size, and they use many of the virtualization of texturing that Unreal Engine uses, so they're pretty optimal. But still, there are going to have some work to be done to make everything that used to work on all of our lights to work on this one. And I know that this was an issue with the old light, so let me show you how we can fix this up. So if we go to project settings and we go to rendering, here it is, and we go down until we see the type of shadow that we are using, we can revert to the normal shadow maps, and we still have that noisy thing there. All right, but that doesn't matter, because if we go to our sunlight and we go to details and we go to advanced, there is these cast depth shadows, and that completely fixes it. Right, this was like the old way of fixing it. This doesn't work with virtual shadow maps, right? Even though it is fixed with normal shadow maps, as soon as I turn on again virtual shadow map, that thing is not going to be there. So it's a simple click. It should be a little piece of code that should be moved from the normal shadow. I'm guessing. I'm not so savvy in this engineering thing, but yeah, it's not working there. There's nothing you can do about it but revert to shadow maps, or you can select the actual hair and go back to use cards, and that is going to allow you to use cards as if this was some normal geometry. It still has some blinking issues, so it's not the best of the best, but it's a lot better in that regard. So yeah, that was hair. All right, what else? All right, so there are many things that we can also talk about metahumans in terms of the good things. So that now we do have the metahuman DNA, and the metahuman DNA is the way from which you're going to be able to export your metahumans from the metahuman creator. So that way you're going to be able to share your creations with everybody else, and that makes it very, very useful, right? Because now they are not confined to your own account. Now it's multi-account. So if you select any metahuman, right, just to have access to metahuman creator, let's see how much we're going to have to wait depending on the demand. This is a centralized server-like application, so you are bound to the limitations of modern computing, modern cloud computing. So let's give it a second. So another great thing is that now with the new plugin, oh my God, what's the name? Metahuman mesh to metahuman. You are going to be able to create your own, do your own creation. If you happen to have any, face digitalization, photogrammetry, you're going to be able to convert it fairly easy. The process is scarily easy, right? To go from photogrammetry of the human face and convert it to a metahuman. It is fast. I did it at some point, and I was very, very animations from the marketplace or Mixamo. We may, let me just, so let me address a little bit of metahuman creator, and maybe we're going to jump to animations. All right, so this is our friend Arnold Schwarzenegger, and I did this with Sketchfab. Arnold Schwarzenegger sculpt that someone posted for free, and I downloaded, I passed it through the plugin, and now it's right here. And the nice thing about this is that I don't know if you remember, you can create your own metahumans, right? And for that, you are confined, to the preset metahuman, right? But not anymore. Now you can create. It doesn't matter, right? How many of these new presets they create. Now you have the ability of create, your own metahuman. So you're always going to have the chance of creating random or randomized metahuman with create, but you're also going to have, the ability of creating, your own metahuman, very, very customized in that sense. I'm guessing like at some point this create should be allowed to start using, my metahumans or metahuman created from, the plugin at least, because then, these will extend our ability to mix and match, different metahumans to really make the unlimited amount of you're going to have like, unlimited, infinite type of metahumans once we can use those my metahumans or plugin, mesh to metahuman on here on create. All right. So that is a little bit of the good and the bad from Metahuman Creator. And now let's go back. Let's hit cancel there. And now let's go back here and talk a little bit about animation. All right. So cool. Let's talk about animation. Let's address that elephant in the room. So let me create yet another level sequence. And let's drop our friend right here inside our sequencer. So, once upon a time, I was really, really, really bored. And I was thinking, how can I go to Mixamo and download literally everything, that was useful about, because they have some gamey type of animations. I wanted to download everything that was really, useful for, cinematic creation and stuff like that. All right. So I did. And I do have that collection right here in this content. And I made it, available. I need to ask, to my lawyer if this is a thing. All right, so let me show you. If I go here and search for animations, animation, there are so many animation things. It is called an animation asset. Animation blueprint, animation composite montage sequence. Might be this. All right, yeah, animation sequence. So as you see, I have many animations, and all these came from Mixamo. So I took the time of downloading them and passing them through what is called the terribly batcher, animation batcher. I might, to shout at them in the doobly-doo, so you know what am I talking about. For all of you who have used it, it is a way for you to upload to Mixamo a character that is so like the mannequin. And then when you download those animations, you can run them through a batcher, and that thing will create a perfectly mannequin animation from Mixamo animations. All right. So you don't have to do retargeting or deal with the ordeal of not having a root bone. And all the things that conveys. So I did that, and I have all those animations. Thing is that they're not very good in terms of deformation, and I can show you what I mean. So if I now go to the body and I go animation and I bring any of those animations, these are all that have this 4 UE4 right there. So maybe let me take this cocky head turn, and here it is. So you're going to see that there are a couple of things that are not working really well here. Like the shoulders are always too low and too back. right? Always pointing, really to the back. And the dude is always like falling back, like the pose is wrong, right? And he's always flying. That is another thing. So there are many ways, to fix these kind of things. And I'm going to show you one of the easiest one. And I believe it's something, it's like having your own retargeting pose, but for pose retargeting, it's hard to explain. So let me just go about it. And you tell me if this is genius or if I'm completely mad. All right, so let's go to content. Let's drop the animation sequence filter. Let's go back to Metahumans because I want to have that thing there. No, I'm going to save it there, but don't you worry. Let me show you what am I going to do. So first of all, I need access to the body of the Metahuman. So let's click here in body. Let's go to the details and let's double click on the skeletal mesh asset. And let me show you what are we going to do. There it is. So now we have this thing here and we can go to the actual skeleton. And here in the skeleton, I can go and create an asset. So this is what I want. I want an empty animation, right? But this is a very special animation because when I say empty, it means empty, not even zeros. There is no information on those bones. And that is a thing that you can only create this way. No matter how you try to create any other type of T-pose animation, it's always going to have some value on it, and that will make this experiment void in some ways. So let's go and create an asset and create an animation from current pose, and let's bring it to our Metahuman. Here it is, just here outside in Metahumans, and this is going to be my Metahuman base correct pose or whatever. Let's save it. And now I do have a 1 frame animation, which is silly, right? This might not work, in many cases. So what I want to do is to grab this animation and make it a little bit longer, just, for administration things. All right, there is, oh my God, Siri, shut up. All right. So when my iPad attacks. All right, so what I'm going to do is right click here and I'm going to append frames at the end of this animation. And I want, 30 frames, right? So now what I got here is an empty, and I mean empty, 30 frame animation for a Metahuman. And I'm going to save it. And, that's most it, right? But now I want to assign that animation on top of this wrong animation right here, right? So I simply go here and type animation and I search for correct. And here it is. I can add it. Now it should be, I want to make it on top. So I'm going to grab it and chunk it up. And now that it's on top, you're going to see that it is voiding, right? It is overriding the animation on the bottom. All right, and that is because I need to go to this animation again and go assets, and I'm going to go down until I find here where it says additive, and in type I'm going to switch it from no additive to local space, and I'm going to resave this animation, and I can close these and I can close these and just leave this animation there. And now you can see that this animation, it's on top of it, but it's not affecting it. Like it is not there. And that is because we created it from here, from create asset, all right? That's the only way that you can do this magic, right? Once it's there, you can simply, start, let me show you. Because seeing is believing, my friends. And let me drop these a little bit down and let me go here. Let's go back to skeleton. So let's fix this dude flying, right? Because it's not good that he is always flying. So let me grab the pelvis of this character and I'm going to lower it, all right, a little bit. And I'm going to use, I'm going to, for now, use world coordinates, right? And I'm going to grab it by the C and, sorry, not the spine, the pelvis. That's it. Now I can drop it a little bit and I'm going to create a key by hitting S And that's it. He needs to be a little bit lower, S, and lower and S, and that's it. He is now touching ground, right? So what am I doing here? I'm creating on top modifier animation that will correct not only this animation, but all the animation, because this is a systemic error. All those animations that I processed have that same issue, and you not want to go fixing each and every one of those. You want to have this thing that you can simply drop on top of it, and that will solve all your issues. And you can do a little bit of also, maybe grabbing that clavicle, right? And we gotta make sure that we don't have let me just check it, because we might, right? We don't have angle snapping. And what I can do now is simply grab, and I'm sorry, I'm working on 1080p and this feels, so cramped, but that's it. So now I can grab this thing, pull it a little bit up, and hit S, and you can see how that shoulder looks a lot more natural right there, right? So you can keep, and just be sure that you create all your keys at the 0 so you can override them, and they are not everywhere. And now this dude is, have a very nice shoulder angle, but now his hand is a little bit too wide. So now we can grab the upper arm and lower it a little tad, and hit S. That's too much. A little bit less, and hit S. A little bit less, and hit S. So that is good. But again, we do have that issue of this dude like always slumping back, and he's almost like, falling back. So let's go and get our spine 1. It should be at the top of this list. And let's, a little bit forward, S. A little bit more forward, S, and now it is a lot better. And now we should have, this arm that is hanging, directly down, and that is looking fine. And if you have a little bit of interpenetration here, you know what to do. You are going to, and let's save this post, all right? And again, grab the clavicle, put it a little bit up, note that way, the clavicle, this way up. Hit S. Now it's a lot better. Now let's grab the arm and lower it a little bit. Not that way. The other way. This way. That's too much, I guess. That's really too much. And that's it. Now I do have. So let's check it, the before and after, right? So this is before, and this is, this is after, and this is before. After, before, after, before, after, before, after, before, after, before, after, before. So yeah, this is like a way of doing retargeting posts after the actual retargeting. Again, needs to work around doing silly things. Don't quote me on this. This is just me trying to, survive the jungle of hideous, wrongly, imported animations. There are other ways to fix these kind of things. And now it's a lot easier. Let me show you how that could be. So we know that we can fix it with this animation, right? But what if I want to use some rig, right? I could go body, and I could go track, and I could go control rig, and I could add an FK control rig. And you will say, no, don't do it. No, it's all right. Finally, all those many numbers of poses, empty poses that Metahuman did have in the past are not there any longer. So if you're worried about that, they were completely removed at some point. With this version of Metahumans, you can safely use the FK control rig for a brand new, Metahuman drop into your scene. So all I need to do is to do that, and now it's here, but it's not an additive. So I need to right click on the FK control rig, and I can switch it to additive. And now you can check out that we have, and if I type G, I should have, all the bones right there for me to do exactly the same process that I did with, the, damn it, with the animation, right? And now I can drop him to the ground. And again, remember to key it. So I need to go back to my 0. I can drop him to the ground and hit a key. And I can do exactly the same, the same old that I did, on the other side. But now I should change to local, and now grab this, pull it up a little bit, set a key, grab my arm, lower it a little bit, and set a key, and you can continue, doing everything that I just did. And again, if you want to have, all these in any other animation, well, you can simply copy this control rig and paste it on any other character. And that's it, because, a track in a sequencer is just a track, and it will work for any other, with the same skeleton. So any other metahuman will work with whatever, you end up doing in this particular case. So let's convert these to, nope, really? And like this, all right, yeah, something like that. Cool. So again, key everything. And that's the way to fix your animations, either by creating that magical, and I prefer the other way around, because now that animation is going to remain there for you to simply fix it. And in the case of the FK control rig, you're going to have to, bring it from this particular, sequencer. You're going to have to, turn on the sequencer, go here, copy the actual FK control rig, and then paste it on any other sequencer that you're working with. So I believe this one, is going to be the way to go. Now, that being said, this will only correct the same systemic issue that you would have from the same bank of animations, so that it will be exclusive, to fix those animations. Each and every different source of animation that you have that happen to have that systemic issue, you will have to fix it on a per case base. All right, so let's see. Marino, hello, ciao. How is everything? All right, Housing, yes. Hello, everyone. Are you going to talk about applying animations from Marketplace or Mixamo? Yeah, kind of. So we went through a little bit of that. I don't understand how Gabriel is bored. He's always working. It's my job. What can I say? Thank you, Diana. This animation needs IK retarget. They were not retarget. They were not retarget. Let me go and find it. I don't want to show too much because, again, so it is the Terriblis Mixamo tool. So here it is. It's the Mixamo it's this one. Free retargeting Mixamo animations. So if you follow this full thing, you're going to have everything that you need. It is a batch program that you're going to have to download to your computer, and at your own risk, convert all those animations to mannequin animations. We have been using it for quite some time, and it's really safe. It's just sketchy, and I don't want for people to look at my channel and say he's promoting sketchy things. I'm not, but if you are brave enough, you can go and check it out. It's the Terriblis Studio. I know that someone is going to place the link in the chat for sure. All right, let's continue. So no retargeted. That was like an automatic out of Unreal retarget, and everything work very, very good. Logan, hello. Hey all, a bit late. I'm glad I was able to finally. Yeah, for sure. You are welcome. You are completely welcome. Oh, Marino, hello. And Bardos, hello. Did you know that Actor Core works great with a Metahuman export and retargeting, and the mockup seems to look a little bit better than Mixamo? Yes, for sure. And I mean, nowadays, you shouldn't have the need to do actual retargeting as long as you're working with things from the marketplace. Sometimes you get errors, sometimes you get crashes, but for the most times you're going to be able to use the compatible skeleton scheme. So I'm using it here. Let me show you what that means. So let me drop this animation and the control rig and everything, and leave this little guy, in his wonderful T-pose. All right, and now, sorry. All right, so let me show you that I do have another animations on this right here. So all these that are called for UE4 are the ones that I brought from Mixamo. But if I go low enough, you're going to find that there are some others. Here, these ones like falling. No, these also are from Mixamo thing. So I should have. Oh, here it is. This one right here that are these MOB are from the MCO mockup basic, and they are assigned, to this metahuman. And let me show you how I managed that. And without having, I should have load one of those so you can check them out. That they work, solid. If I search for MOB, I have things like jog. Yeah, why not? And now you can check out that there are pretty good. So they are not Oscar, but yeah, they are working. So the way that this works is really easy. You just need to go to the body of your metahuman, and this is a one-time deal. You don't have to go and do this all the time. You want to double click on your body, on the body of your metahuman. That should open the person editor on the skeletal mesh. So you want to jump to the actual skeleton. So now that we are in the skeleton, this is a thing that won't be on by default somehow. You need to go Windows and go Asset Details. And once you are in Asset Detail, you're going to have access to these compatible skeletons, right? And from here, you are going to be able to create a new array, right? And you're going to be able to assign new skeletons that are compatible. And you know that they are compatible because they come from the marketplace. And everything on the marketplace, I'm going to say the vast majority are animations that are based on the mannequin skeleton, which means that they are in fact compatible with the metahuman. Now, that being said, a couple of times I have tried to do this, and if you select an old, this one is there from a long time ago, I dare not do it again because I was having some issues with this, but this one is already connected. You can try it, on your own. I do have here the actual, mannequin, the normal mannequin, with all the third person animations, and I do have the MCO. Let me check out if I do have more animations here. I should have the NPC, so I do have the MCOs, but do I have the NPCs one? Nope. Guess I'm not, so I might get them, and again, risk it for the biscuit. All right, so let's do it. Oh, I do have the actor core here, so let me show you how that will work with this actor core. So all I need is the actual skeletal mesh, right? And I know that any of these will work, and these are in the game actor core thingy dummy male. So let's go and do that. So that should be dummy male. So this is game actor core sample motion dummy male. Let's try this one. Let's click there. Let's save, and I believe it's going to save, but maybe when I try to use the actual thing, will asset normal weight fail to save. All right. That's unfortunate. Maybe that's the ghost of that. It's not going to save. Yeah, that might be the ghost of that Unreal that didn't crash. but crashed, that is still there lingering. And I believe I need to restart my engine for that. So don't you worry about this one. Let me just showcase it with this one, just because. And I just did, right? By default, these animations from the MCO mockup are not assigned, or retarget to these metahumans. They are just shared by doing this. And as you see, I have full access to all of those animations right there for me to use. So yeah, nowadays, really, if you don't need to retarget, like don't, even though the retargeting process is getting better and better. And so, it changed, I believe, in 5.2. Let me show you. Maybe just showcase a little bit of that, because I have not got to, take a real look at it. So if you go animations, you can create this IK retargeter, right? Now all you need to do is double click, and that will, prompt you to select a source, IK rig, right? So I can take, maybe this is from the Paragon Belly character. Cool. And now it will ask me a copy too. So this could be, for example, the target. This one is, nope. This one is the Mannequin IK rig. Cool. So that will open up this thing right there, working already. And this change, I'm sure that you can check it out. You can run the retargeter, stop the retargeter. You can switch from source to target, fairly easy. And you have everything right there. So it's a little bit, different. You still have, the way of changing the actual chain size and the thickness of the chains. But again, this is not the bones. These are the IK chains. For the bones are, inside characters, bones, and the size of the bone is right there. And I believe there is an offset for the source and the target. So I can grab these and maybe move it to the side. For some reason, this is not the Bellica. This is like from the actor core to the mannequin. All right, so this should work. So there are no results for the asset browser. All right, so maybe I should change this source to another one. Metahuman, no, mannequin. I should have something here. Maybe this one. This should be the Bellica thing, maybe. All right, here it is. All right, so now I do have some animations here, like E-ability, and it's completely broken because I'm guessing like the chains are not, very well named, because these are just, all, tests that I was doing. But now you see that you have, these, it's a little bit different. So I'm guessing these will get better, to do all these, retargetings and everything, good. But yeah, it changed a little bit in 5.2. So yeah, I'm running out of fuel right now. We are maybe 1 hour in, right? A little bit more than an hour in. Am I right? Yeah. So the compatible skeleton tip is brilliant. It is, of course. Treat them with care. If it starts, crashing on you, try to find a way to move those animations to the new mannequin, because I'm guessing the old mannequin is getting older and it's losing compatibility with the newer skeletons for metahumans. So yeah, so try to move all your animations to and again, you are going to have the IK rigs for both. If you download if you create your, let me just show you. If you go add and you add to your, come on, add. All right, add feature or content pack. You can add, add to your project, the third person template. And from there on, you're going to have in your characters the third person mannequin, and you're going to have the new mannequin and the old mannequin. All right. So the new mannequin is this one, the new queen and Manny. And you will have also the old mannequins, these ones right there. And you're also going to have the IK rigs already there for you to start working with them and converting your animations from the old mannequin to the new mannequin. So that would be a thing to do, because this mannequin, I'm sure, and the conversion between the old mannequin and the new mannequin, it's like this is very, very easy. The thing is that you cannot share a animation that was shared to that skeleton. You can only share once. You can not do inception of sharing. So you really need to have those animations present and bounded to that skeleton for you to be able to share them. So yeah, start moving all your old animations from Unreal Engine 4 to the new mannequin, because then you won't have the need to do any retargeting, because you're going to be able to share all those animations in between, all the characters in your project. All right. And my God, with that, I believe we are off. Maybe, just maybe, I'm just going to do one last thing. All right. I'm going to drink a little bit of water so I can regain a little bit of my voice. Oh my God. All right, and now I'm going to... What is happening? This dude is possessed. Muere Satanás. Yeah, go away. Let's bring our friend, the Metahuman, Christopher. Let's drop him there. There it is. This one should not be possessed. Oh, it is. They're all possessed. It doesn't matter. All right. So what I want to share with you was that thing that I was talking at the beginning, that the neck of these metahumans are like really, really stiff, right? So if I select, let me just open up this thing and open up this. And now my iPad should show here, maybe. Will you show? Maybe not. For some reason. All right, it doesn't matter. You know what? It won't show because, we have the other ghost of a metahuman there that maybe won't allow, this thing to connect. So yeah. It doesn't matter. I want to end up this transmission by sharing something with you. And that is, let me see if by any means I have it here. No, I don't think I have it here. So I may have to share it with you. So if you go to ArtStation, all right? And here in ArtStation, you are going to find my profile that I'm going to share with you on the details of this. If you want to find me, I'm Tyler Drotten. Let me copy this and paste it here. The full thing is going to be better. So let me share it here, there, send. It should be there, all right? And you go to store. Believe me, I'm not selling anything. It's for free. I just said for free these cameras. And these are, some cameras that I did a long time ago. They are pretty neat. Let me show you how they work. And for that, we might need to open another Unreal. This one, I know that I have them working. So now we can close this Unreal, don't save. Let's wait for this one to turn on while I keep, at this. These are based on Victor. I can't remember his last name. He is, all dear Victor, epic guy who did all the showcase, at the time. Now he is the VR product specialist, and he is the one in charge, the one who created the new VR template. And just to close VR week, right? What a way to do it by someone who doesn't know like scrap from VR. But I took his work and make it more cinematic, the things that I know how to do, right? Let me show you what I mean by that. So let me delete this character here, and let me so once you download that zip, hello Brent, hey, all right, once you download that zip and you paste it, you need to paste it like inside the content. You're going to have your handheld cameras, all right, and you need to copy on the config the default input, just because all the controls are there, right? The thing is that once you have them there, if you look for them in your content, you're going to have 4 cameras. You can create more if you want to, but sometimes 4 is enough. So you can simply drag them and drop them into your scene, and you can raise them up. And once they are there, you're going to be able to hit play. And once you are in play, you can simply click 1, the number 1, and that will possess that particular camera. Now you can move around, and it has all the the lerp movement that Victor added to those cameras. But now you have a full cinema camera in it, right? From which you can change the focal length, or you can change the focus, and you will have that easy in, easy out movement that is so great. And all the controls are just basically the same as how you will move around in Unreal. And if you happen to have a gamepad, it will also work with a gamepad, and you're going to be able to zoom in, zoom out, and have the focus change or the autofocus. If you want to focus on something, you simply are going to middle mouse click, and that will autofocus on the character. Sadly, because this character has a collision shape, it will focus on the collision shape. So sometimes you're going to have a wrong focus, but for anything else that doesn't have a collision shape, it should work very, very, very good. And that's it. You're going to have a crane like very easy in, easy out movement that I'm sure you are going. Yeah, it works in sequencer and with take recorder also. So all you need to do is to go Windows, Cinematic, take recorder. You're going to be able to grab your outliner, grab your VR camera, drop it in, and you can hit record. Sorry, not record. Stop. First play, and then record. And then you can click here, and then you hit 1, and now you are recording your camera. It is that easy. And if you want this thing to always be in focus, you keep your middle mouse held down, and sorry, that pesky thing is in the way. And yeah, that's it. Now you can have that movement, and if you hit escape and you go and take a look at what you recorded and take a look from that particular camera, you have that camera movement recorded, and you can use it. Great thing of all is that you can also close down your take recorder, and you can drop more of those. I can have one more down there, and I can have one more back there, right? And now you can hit play, and now you can hit 1, and now I'm possessing this one, and I can put it right there, and I can click number 2, and now I'm on number 2 camera, and I can hit 3, and now I'm at number 3 camera. So this is like the back facing camera. So if you want to do some camera training, some camera work, this is like in a TV set type of experience, and now it's for you for free forever. All right, so it's going to be on a temporary situation there in ArtStation. I might create some sort of marketplace stuff so I can drop it there. Maybe it's going to be, I don't know, Gumroad or something like that, to have everything organized, because I want to start doing giveaways, and this is the first giveaway for you guys. and is, my gift to the community. And all right, yeah, it's the broadcast style for sure. All right, now I'm off. That was today live, and I want to salute you all. And as always, be good to each other. I love you all very much, and I will see you in the next one. All right. So peace.